Hello and good morning, dear students. Today we are taking problems on chapter number 3, remaining problems. So we start with problem number 6. So problem number 6, I already written over here, is a particle moves in a central force field defined by f of r is equal to minus k upon r cube. Show that if capital E is total mechanical energy of particle, then its speed is given by v is equal to square root of k, which is constant, force constant, which is written over here, k divided by mr square plus twice e upon m. So that thing we have to prove. So from equation 6, as particle moves in a central force field, we know that for particle moves in a central force field, total mechanical energy is 1 half m r dot square plus r square theta dot square plus v of r. Now, in this equation, this term is nothing but its velocity. Okay, so this is equal to 1 half m into v square plus v of r. Okay, so call this as equation 1, where v of r is potential energy of that particle. Now, it is given that force is minus k upon r cube, and that force is central force, and central force is conservative force. So from f of r, which is minus k upon r cube, which is central force, we can write from definition of central force that central force f of r is equal to minus dv upon dr. So force is negative gradient of potential. So from this equation we can write dv is equal to f of r dr with negative sign. So if you put f of r minus k upon r cube, so that will become k upon r cube dr. Okay, now to get v, which is potential, from this equation we have to integrate this equation. So v of r is equal to, so integration of this, so r raised to minus 2, its integration become r raised to minus 3 plus 1 divided by minus 3 plus 1. So that is k into r raised to minus 3 plus 1, which is minus 2, divided by minus 3 plus 1, which is minus 2. Okay, so this is equal to minus k upon 2 r square. So in this way we can find out potential energy. So put that in equation 1. So you will get total energy E is equal to 1 half m v square plus v of r, which is minus k divided by 2 r square. So from this equation, 1 half m v square is equal to, if you take this term on the left hand side, so that will become e plus k divided by 2 r square. Now v square is equal to, okay, so v square is equal to, we have to multiply 2 on the right hand side and divide by m. So twice e upon m, okay, plus if you multiply with this 2 to this, that will cancel. So k divided by m r square. So if you take square root of this, so that is square root of twice e upon m plus k divided by mr square. Okay, so this is the required answer. So with this, our problem number 6 is over. Now we are moving to problem number 7. What is problem number 7? Problem number 7 is a geostationary satellite is orbiting around Earth at height of 11 RE above surface of Earth, where RE is radius of Earth. What is time period of another satellite at height 5 RE from surface of Earth? Okay. So first of all, this is geostationary satellite. So we know that for geostationary satellite, from definition of geostationary satellite, period of revolution of that satellite is 24 hours. So from given problem, we know that distance, we are calling the distance as r1, which is 11 re, and we are calling time t1, which is 24 hours. So that time is periodic time. Now it is also given that another satellite which is at height r2, which is 5 re. Okay. So and we have to find out period of that satellite. So using Kepler's third law, so Kepler's third law is T square is directly proportional to R cube. So using Kepler's third law, T square is directly proportional to R cube. So T square is equal to, we are calling constant K into R cube. So from for T1, which is K R1 cube. So call this as equation 1 for T2, which is K R2 cube. Okay, call that as equation 2. Now divide equation 1 and 2. We will get T1 upon T2 square is equal to R1 upon R2 cube. Okay. Now in this equation, we already know all the values. We have to find out T2. So that's why T1 upon T2 is equal to R1 upon R2 raised to 3 by 2. Now here T2 is equal to T1 multiplied by R2 divided by R1 raised to 3 by 2. If we take this term on the left hand side, now this is equal to T1, which is 24 hours, multiplied by R2. Now R2 is what? 5 RE divided by R1, which is 11 RE raised to 3 by 2. So this RE will get cancelled, and 5 by 11 raised to 1.5, 3 by 2 means. So first of all, find out this ratio, take raised to 1.5 and multiply by 24 hours. You will get, using calculator, you will get answer as 8.61 hours. So this is the required answer of problem number 7. Now we are going to problem number 8. In problem number 8, which is eccentricity of Earth orbit is 0.0167 full stop. Calculate rate of maximum to minimum speed. So that is, we already solved a problem on Kepler's second law, and from that problem v1 and v2 are maximum and minimum speeds. So we already know this formula, we derived this formula. So up to here, up to derivation of that formula, use that problem number, I think 3. uh, by using that problem number 3, you solve up to here, and using v1 upon v2. Now v1 is maximum speed and v2 is minimum speed. So this is at perigee and this is at apogee, which is 1 plus e divided by 1 minus e is equal to eccentricity is 0.0167 divided by 1 minus 0.0167. So you will get answer as 1.03. So this is the required answer. Okay. Now we are moving to last problem of this chapter number 2. So problem number 9. A particle moving under central force located at r is equal to 0. Describe a spiral. So spiral is r is equal to e raised to minus theta. Show that f of r is proportional to 1 upon r cube, 1 over r cube. So in problem number 9 we are given f of r, we are given r is equal to e raised to minus theta, and we have to find out f of r. So using differential equation of motion. So differential equation of motion is, we use this differential equation of motion to find out law of force. So that equation is d2u by d theta square plus u is equal to minus m divided by l square u square f of 1 over u. So in this equation u is 1 over r, and that is equal to 1 over r is e raised to minus theta, which is e raised to theta. Now differentiating with respect to theta we get, so du by d theta is equal to e raised to theta. Again differentiating with respect to theta, we get d2u by d theta square is equal to again e raised to theta. So put in equation 1. So this is equation number 1. If you put this in equation 1, we will get, instead of d2u by d theta square, we get e raised to theta plus u, and u is again e raised to theta. Okay, and this is equal to minus m divided by l square u square f of 1 over u. So from this equation f of 1 over u is equal to, if you take this term on the right hand side, l square u square upon u multiply by e raised to theta, e raised to theta. So this will become 2 into e raised to theta. But e raised to theta is nothing but u. So this term is 2 times u. So here you will get 2 times u. So this is 2 into u cube. So if you put value of u as 1 over r, so you will get minus 2 times l square m, and here we will get r cube. So f of r is proportional to minus 1 over r cube. So this is the required result. Okay. So law of force is attractive, and which is given as 1 over r raised to cube. So with this, our chapter number 2 and its problems are over. Okay. So in our next lecture we will be solving, or we will be taking chapter number 3.